Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. How's my brothers and sister doing today? I hope you're all doing all right. Today we're going to talk, inshallah, about a story of one of the mothers that she sent it to me. And I actually told about this story in my Arabic channel. I actually talk about this story in my Arabic channel. And I find out that it's a story that deserves to tell or to talk about in my English channel also. And the story is from Syria. It's a mother in Syria, and I'm gonna put the link from my Arabic channel. I hope people they can follow the channel that they speak Arabic. And anyhow, the story is about this lady, the Syrian lady. After the revolution in Syria, her son flee the country like a lot of people flee the country to Europe. Specifically, he went to Germany, and she only son that she have, like she have only son, one son and two sisters, and he have two sisters, I believe. But she's only boy that she have, and he went there, and as we all know, the mother heart is very sensitive, and if any of her children live away from her, she won't be comfortable living. She'll always be worried about what they doing, how they doing, they eat, they don't eat, how they life, and all that, and we all know this. So this mother, she did not hear any news or anything from her son for 8 months. That was the longest 8 months ever since he left the country that she never heard anything about him. So she was going crazy. She was digging around, tried to call his friends, tried to call his cousins. They live with him, and nobody answered the phone. One of her neighbors told this lady, "Go sacrifice a goat. Go sacrifice a goat and ask Allah, can you please let me know about my son? Make a dua for Allah. That, oh Allah, I want to know something about my son. I want to hear something about my son. I never heard of anything about him for 8 months. That's a long time, brother and sister." So anyhow, she went and she don't have money, brothers. She have no money. She have only $100 in her household. The last $100, she called the butcher guy. She told him, "Listen, I need a goat or I need a sheep." He tell her, "Yes, there's a one sheep. I don't know, 50 pounds or something like that, or 50 kilos." Allahu Akbar, it's Isha time. So he tell her like, "Yes, I have a one for $100. I have a sheep for $100." She paid $100, and she told him it was Wednesday. She told him by Friday, I need this. I need this goat to be. I need this sheep to be killed and be ready, so I can give it as a charity. So the story just to tell you how important the charity is. Rasulullah he says, "Tasaddaqu walau bishiqqi tamra." Give charity, even if a half of a date, a half of it, give it to somebody poor that he needed, is considered in the sight of Allah as charity. Allah will accept it from you if you're sincere from your heart for it. So, anyways, she went to Friday. She went to the guy and she picked up the beef and the meat and stuff like that, and she started distributing the meat for people in the poor people in town. That happened on Friday. So before next Friday, she went home and she was just scrolling in her phone and stuff like that. She see a number. When she was talking to her son, she see one number, and she never see that number before. And she made that on Friday. So during the week before the next Friday, she saw a number in her phone. She called this number, and this number was one of his cousins. She tell him, "Where is my son? I never heard of him. What happened to him?" He's like, "You know what? Your son is in the hospital, in the mental hospital. So I'm gonna give you a number for his lawyer, because her son, I think he went through a mental distress, and they take him and put him in the hospital. And then he tell her, I'm gonna give you his lawyer number, and you can talk to his lawyer." She take the number, and she told him like, I can't speak German. Can you talk to him?" He called him, and he's like, "No, I can't talk to her. I can't give her no information about her son. because I'm not allowed to do that. So the lady, that was before Friday, guys. So the lady, she was digging and digging, and she go Google Translate. She translated the message, she sent it to the lawyer. She told him, listen, I'm a mother and I'm sure you have kids, your father, you have kids, or you have nephews or something like that. And please, I didn't hear from my son for that period of time. I need to hear something from my son. I'm allowed, I need somebody to connect with my son, connect me with my son. So she begged the lawyer just to give her connection. So the lawyer, he read the message, he gave her the number of the hospital that his son was admitted in. Anyway, she called the hospital and she talked the next Friday, she called the hospital, she gave them the number, and she received a phone for him. Subhanallah. 1 week, brother and sister. 1 week. So the charity is not an easy deed in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nowadays, we have a lot of ways to give charity. You see our brothers and sisters in Gaza, in Palestine, in Lebanon, in the war-torn countries, in Sudan, in Burma, like all brothers and sisters all over the world. They need help. So don't think anything you can help is small. Anything you can help is something. People are hungry. They have no food. They have no clean water. They have no clothes. Now the winter is coming. They're living in a tent outside. So please, brothers and sisters, think about it and give surety for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So she called him. He called her. Actually, he called her and he talked to her. Would talk to him, and she was so surprised that she heard something from him, and she was so happy. So I'm just highlighting the story because the story is a long story, and I'm just trying to remember because I just use from my brain because I heard it too many times. Anyhow, she talked to him, and while she talking to him, she heard his voice is not normal. There's something wrong with him. She asked him, "What's wrong with your voice? Your voice is not normal. What happened?" He told her, "That's a shocking story here, brother and sister." He told her last Friday, the day that she made the sacrifice, she was killing a sheep just for the sake of Allah to know something about her son. The same time they're doing the sacrifice, the same time her son, he take a knife and he was cutting his neck. He want to kill himself. Subhanallah. Until the staff of the hospital, they catch him and they prevent him from committing suicide. To almost kill himself. And the surprise is the same time that when she was doing the sacrifice all over the world. In Syria, he's in Germany trying to sacrifice to kill himself, trying to commit suicide. Subhanallah, right away come to my mind the surah of As-Safat, ayah number 107. قال سبحانه وتعالى وفديناه بذبح عظيم, and we ransomed him with a great sacrifice. Because the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was ordered by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He had a dream that he sacrificed his son. He sacrificed his son. So he went all the way to the process. Almost he was going to sacrifice his son, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he tell him, Ya Ibrahim, قد صدقت الرؤيا. So the same things come to my mind. The story of Ibrahim and Sayyidina Ibrahim and Sayyidina Ismail, and the story of this lady's son. Subhanallah. So, brother and sister, purity is very important in a Muslim life. So this lady, she talked to her son, Alhamdulillah, and like a lot of people in the hospital, they talk to him away, they walk him away from the suicide mindset, and he's doing very well right now, Alhamdulillah. And I think she have contact with him daily now. She can talk to him, not like before. I'm not sure if he's still in the hospital or not, but until I talked to her last time, she told me like he's doing very well. So that's only because of the charity that she sacrificed for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So one Friday, she was doing the charity and sacrifice, The next Friday, she talked to her son, and Alhamdulillah, Rabbana subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah, He saved her son from committing suicide. So I want people to take charity very serious. And like I said, you don't have to have hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars to give charity. A half of the day, like the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, شق تمرة. وَلَا تَصَدَّقَ بِشِقِّ تَمْرَةٍ, half of the day, that's considered in Allah's side as a charity. So don't think anything you do is small for your brothers and sisters, that the suffering you see in TV everywhere and every day for the last year or for the last numbers of months. So I don't want to talk too much to here. Inshallah, we're going to stop. We're going to end it up here. Until inshallah next video, I leave you with peace from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I'll talk to you next week. Assalamu alaikum.